04 Yankee. We're taking off, remaining in a pattern from runway 24, Burlington traffic. Fuel selectors on both, yes. Shuttle valve is on. And then we are jumping to, I guess, no, mixture. It has to be rich, so we're going to put it all the way.
That's correct, all the way rich.
All the way rich. Throttle 1800, here we go.
Speed on the brakes.
Runway 24, Burlington. Alright. Magnetos. We're going to do just the right.
Right and left. So we'll go to the right first.
The right, left, yeah. And it's going down at 100 drop. Back to both.
Back to third.
And then just right, just left.
That's correct.
And it goes down of a 10%.
Back to third.
Back to both. Alright.
Good.
And then a vacuum check. That's the here in the green, yeah.
Good.
Engine instrument check. So it looks like we're all in the line. And then we have an annunciator panel. Look like it's working. Throttle back to idle.
Okay.
If it works, doesn't stall. Okay. Back to 1,000. 1,000. Here we go. Throttle friction lock adjust. It looks good. Picture lean for taxi. I'm going just of a quarter of an inch or 1 inch.
Yeah, just about an inch out.
1 inch.
Correct.
The quarter of an inch is really for the throttle.
Yeah, just for the throttle. For this, you can actually go pretty decent ways out with it while we taxi around. Basically, it just prevents the engine from taking too much fuel and burning too rich and fouling out the spark plugs.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so lean for taxi. And then we have avionic, I guess it's working.
Filter crossing 24 Charlie, Burlington.
Yep, we got weather, got Burlington Unicom. The weather is 135.32. Unicom is 122.97.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright.
Cool.
Autopilot test, we're gonna do the...
Active Burlington.
Then, yes, much harder.
Okay.
So we're gonna...
Autopilot.
Alright. And then if I want the radio to be louder, or it's this one here.
Yeah, it's the radio we can turn up with this knob, so it should be pretty loud now. When
I see we have the volume, yeah. Alright.
Okay. Cool.
And then we have the brakes release.
Going to traffic, 32727.
We can go to
left crossing up runway 24.
to take off
to the south.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to taxi up to this hold line up here because we can't go left.
I see.
And we're just going to back taxi down the runway.
Right.
So we're going to set up the airplane for takeoff at this next hold line just up ahead. So we'll taxi up straight down this taxiway here, and once we get to the hold line before 2, 4, and 6 there, we'll do the run-up check, or the takeoff check. Yep.
Alright, here we go.
Yes, sir. We're ready to rock.
Alright. I should be on the yellow lane.
That's correct. All right, and just straight ahead to this hold short line up ahead.
And then after, when we're done, we'll take a left on the driveway.
Yep, and we're going to go all the way down to the end.
Gotcha. And then you make a U-turn.
Yep, let's do our before takeoff check here, so when we turn around, we're ready to take off.
Alright. Okay. So we're doing the before takeoff and low land. The flaps needs to be up. Okay. So that. The trim set for takeoff. Yes, they are. Mixture has to be rich. Here we go. And the lights have to be on. Strobe lights.
Strobe and landing lights.
And landing lights, yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah, I always forget this too. And the brakes have to be released. We know that there's no more brake. And before that, I'm going to get that camera working.
Okay.
You have a second?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. fully. Last time didn't get to go, unfortunately. This time I want to make sure it's working. It's working, yeah. All right. Do you mind taking the brakes for 1 second?
I got it. To back taxi runway 24 is what this is called. So we need to make sure we got plenty of time to spend on the runway. So we look left and right. I don't see anybody in the pattern or on final. And so we're going to say this is the radio call we'd make to back taxi. Burlington traffic, Cessna 04 Yankee is back taxiing runway 24 departure, Burlington. Oh, so we're back taxiing runway 24 for departure. So we'll taxi out and make a left turn. Just a normal taxi. What's that? You got your, I think your headset came unplugged. Yeah, one of the wires here looks like it came out. Yeah, I've got the flight controls. You put that wire back in. In the...
Yes.
There you go.
There we go.
All right, so I'm going to take the flight controls
got
back.
the flight controls?
All right. I was wondering, since we were taking it from slightly left, so that qualifies as a crosswind left, right?
Yeah, it's just a slight crosswind from the left, but it's mostly straight down the runway right now. It's pretty straight.
So we're not going to use the aileron towards the left.
It depends on what the windsock looks like as we start to take off. But
Okay.
Yeah, we'll look.
But if it were blowing sort of hard towards the left, and from the left, rather,
That's correct.
then we would...
Oh, certainly, yeah. We'd aileron into the wind and hold it there until we got to rotation speed. And at rotation speed, we'd have the yoke back to straight again, and we could take off.
Would that come naturally, or do we have to make that effort to put it back normal?
Oh, we'll have to make that effort ourselves to bring it back to normal. And same thing as we land. As we land, the ailerons go back into the wind as we land with a crosswind landing.
By itself?
And we have to do that ourselves. We're going to have to remember to do that. Or else, if we caught a gust of wind while we're moving forward that fast, it could pick one of the wings off the runway, and we'll ride on one wheel. So we aileron into the wind to hold all three wheels on the ground.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's really easy for it to happen, too.
All right. So 55, right rudder, nose to the horizon. Alright. It's been a week, but it feels like it's been a month of non-flying.
Yeah, it's amazing how that happens.
Yeah, twice a week is really ideal, I can tell now.
Yeah.
I see the point of flying. Alright.
Alright, so we can kind of just swing around.
On the left, right?
Yeah, whichever way you want to go.
Okay.
Yep.
Myself right in the middle might be easier.
Yep. Yeah, definitely want to start in the middle.
Because we have plenty of space.
Yes, we do.
Alright. Alright, I'm going to put it back to idle. No, I'll just...
Yeah, we're ready to start the takeoff roll now. So we can say Burlington traffic.
Oh yeah.
500 for Yankee is taking off, runway 24, remaining in the pattern.
Burlington traffic, Cessna 500 Yankee, taking off on runway 24, staying in the pattern, Burlington traffic.
Perfect. All right, whenever you're ready. We're all set up. We've done our checklist. We're ready to go.
Right. Beat off the brakes.
That's right.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, we can make our first left turn onto crosswind. We can say Burlington traffic, 04 Yankee is turning left crosswind, runway 24, Burlington.
Turning left.
Crosswind. Let's go ahead and make that turn too.
Burlington traffic, Cessna 500 Yankee, turning left wing, Burlington traffic.
Left crosswind.
Left crosswind.
Yep. Alright, so let's level off at 1,600 feet.
Alright.
Yep, we can pull that power back to 2,000 RPM. So we don't want to go any higher, so it's pitch, power, and trim just like normal.
Okay.
We'll have to let that nose go forward. Alright, let's turn on to downwind, left downwind, runway 24. So you see where we're at with the runway here?
Right.
Let's make that left turn before we get too far. And you can say Burlington traffic, Cessna 5004 Yankee is on left downwind, runway 24, Burlington. And that's left downwind.
Alright. Well, I'm going to do it right now. Burlington traffic, Cessna 5440 Yankee. Then I forgot.
Left downwind.
Left downwind. Good. Burlington traffic.
Cool. Yeah, but we always say the runway number 2, so we need to descend quite a bit. We gained 200 feet, so let's pull a lot of power out. There we go, and just kind of push that nose down so we can descend. We don't want to be too high, or else we're going to end up too high, right? Pull some extra power, probably about to 15 or so. Out to 15. Go towards you.
Oh, 15, sorry.
Alright, and there's the beamer landing point, so let's go ahead and set our first notch of flaps. Alright, and we're going to continue this nose down. We don't want to raise the nose up, so let the nose keep coming down. There we go.
Nose down, alright.
That's right. And when we get a 45
degrees,
that's right, let's make our left base turn. So let's turn left. And we are on left base. Burlington traffic 04 Yankee, left base.
Burlington traffic, Cessna 5004 Yankee. We're on left base. Burlington traffic.
And let them know the runway number each time so they know it's not 6. Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
So next notch of flaps. Let's make it, we want to be perfectly perpendicular, so we need to go left. Alright, level out right here, so you can look and see what perpendicular is. Right there's where you want to be. So let's keep the turn coming now. We're going to turn on the final. 04 Yankee, final, runway 24.
Burlington traffic, Cessna 500 Yankee. Final, runway 24, Burlington traffic.
Say runway 24 instead of 24?
I say 24.
Yeah, that's right. And you don't have to say 5004 Yankee each time. Just say Cessna 04 Yankee. Just those last 3 numbers is fine. Alright, so last notch of flaps.
Step on the ball.
That's right. Real gentle, easy pressures on the rudder. Don't be slamming them too hard.
Right.
And just, we're a little slow, so just remember we can use our pitch and power to hold a perfect 65, and we're at 59 right now. So let's add a little power. And just let that nose come down to 2-4. Yeah. Alright, we're getting really slow. Add more power, push the nose down. Alright, that's perfect. You can pull some of that power out now. Okay, we've got about a direct crosswind from the left now. So it's going to be a crosswind landing. So we're going to hold the left aileron into the wind and use the rudder pedal to straighten us out. So this is kind of how we're going to fly it right here. Just like that. Pull the power to idle. Alright, and we're going to land on the left wheel.
I see.
Yep.
I see.
And then ailerons into the wind as we slow down.
I see.
Yep.
All right.
You see how we kind of set it down so the wind doesn't pick that wing up? And we're going to hold that all the way off the runway.
Gotcha.
Although right now we're going to have to make a 180 so that we can turn around and go
Right.
2-4.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So let's slow it down real nice and easy and then make a 180 on the runway.
Burlington traffic 0 for Yankee is back taxiing runway 24 Burlington.
All right, so I'll make a...
I'll tell you what, actually, let's bring it to a stop right here. We're just going to do a stop and go, so we're going to start our takeoff from right here. We've got plenty of runway in front of us.
Sure.
Go ahead and do your after landing checklist
Okay.
and your before takeoff checklist.
And we
here.
can open the window, right?
Yeah, that's right. So let's do flaps up, mixture rich, throttle. We don't want to spend too much time sitting here.
Right in the middle, okay.
That's right.
So the after comes here, and that is the after takeoff. That the...
Yep, so after
yeah.
is here. So we've got flaps up, mixture lean, trim set for takeoff, strobe and landing off, and then we're going to go to the before takeoff here.
Okay.
So since we're not going to taxi, before takeoff, flaps are up, trim is set for takeoff, so trim is set here.
All right.
Mixture is rich, still is, strobe and landing lights are still on, so we're ready for takeoff.
Okay.
Alright, so Burlington traffic, Cessna 0 for Yankee is taking off.
So
Runway
it
24.
says not 4,
Cessna 0 for Yankee.
says not 0 for Yankee.
Yep, you can just say 0 for Yankee. Don't worry about that part.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
0 for Yankee. Says not 0 for Yankee.
Yep, it's taking off. Runway 24, remaining pattern.
Burlington traffic. Says not 0 for Yankee. Taking off from runway 24, staying in pattern. Burlington traffic.
Good. That's great. Yep. All right. Whenever you're ready, full power.
All right. So here we go.
This first turn is called left crosswind. Okay, crosswind, yeah. And we call it left because we're making left turns.
Right.
If we were going right, we'd say right crosswind.
And I call that when I reach 1,000, so when I'm ready to make it?
1,100 feet, we can turn left crosswind.
Okay.
Runway 24.
All right. Here we go. 1,100.
Okay.
So I'll announce it and take it out.
Yeah, and we can turn while we do it.
While we do it, okay.
Yeah.
Burlington traffic. Cessna 0 for Yankee. Left crosswind. Turn. Burlington traffic.
Runway 24.
Runway 24, yeah.
Yep.
Getting there.
All right, 1,600 feet is downwind, so let's go ahead and make a left turn on the downwind.
All right. Burlington traffic. Cessna 40 Yankee. Taking it downwind. Runway 24. Burlington traffic.
Good. Taking left downwind, runway 24.
That's downwind.
Yep, let's pitch power trim. 1,600 is where we want to be. Yep. So since we're a little high, pull extra power out.
Yeah.
So yeah, and let's let it get back down to 1,600. There we go. Perfect.
see.
Yep. And 1 notch of flaps. Below 110 knots. Cool. And we're starting our descent. Alright, there we go. Just a nice gradual descent.
Right.
Fly it visually. Don't worry about any of the instruments or anything like that, other than really the airspeed. Alright, let's make our left turn onto base.
Alright.
Left base, runway 24.
Burlington traffic. Cessna 40 Yankee. Turning left base. Runway 24. Burlington traffic.
Good, and it's 04 Yankee. 04 Yankee. Yep.
Right.
Alright, we want to be perpendicular to the runway. So a heading of 330 here will put you completely perpendicular to it.
Right, because I'm completely lost visually now.
Yep, the wing gets in the way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So right there, hold it. That's what it should look like.
Perfect, yeah.
Yep. Alright, and we're a little low, so let's add power and raise the nose up. Okay, second notch of flaps because we're on base. And let's start that turn towards final.
Alright, Burlington Yankee. Burlington traffic. Cessna 40 Yankee. Making final turn. Runway 24. Burlington traffic.
Good. Alright, so you see the lights to the left? They're mostly red, not white. We want to make half red, half white.
Exactly, yeah.
So add power and hold level.
Gotcha.
Yep. Until we fly back into the glide path. There's a 3-degree path that goes down to the runway that those lights are set for.
Okay, I got two
As you
now.
add power, there you go, yeah, so let's get on that glide path.
Alright.
Yep.
We're back to 3, so I'm too low.
Okay, add power, level off. Yep, watch the airspeed. We don't want to get too slow. Use that pitch to help hold your airspeed. But we're too slow. Yeah, there you go.
Burlington, 67 Quebec, taxiing.
Alright.
24 for departure, Burlington.
Down to the runway. Okay. Power coming to idle.
Sky South Aviation in Burlington, November
Hold level.
6880.
Alright. Start slowly raising the nose up.
This is Sky South, go ahead.
Okay. Alright. And right aileron because the right wing was still off the ground. Alright. And that's not going to help. Use your rudders.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, and let's bring it to a stop right here. And we're going to do our before takeoff checklist again. Go ahead and bring it to a stop so it's got the maximum.
Just brake.
Yeah, just use the brakes real easy, nice and gentle.
Alright.
Yep. Straight ahead. Alright.
Sky South Aviation in Burlington,
Use the before
November
takeoff
6880.
checklist.
Bravo will be on the ground in 15 minutes, dropping off 3 passengers, and there should be transportation
Before
waiting for them.
takeoff. Okay.
Yep, so flaps up.
Should be up.
Yes, transportation is
Trim
here.
up,
You
trim
want
it
them
off.
plain side.
Mixture reach. Yes, it is.
Yes, plain side would be great. Thank
Twelve
you.
light on, we know that.
Roger that.
And then the brakes release.
Okay, so we're ready for departure.
Alright.
These are called stop and goes.
Sky
South, 67 Quebec. I guess everybody's back taxiing today.
That's affirmative. All right, whenever you're ready. Burlington traffic, Cessna 04 Yankee is taking off runway 24.
Burlington traffic, Cessna 40 Yankee is taking off runway 24. Burlington traffic.
Good, except it's 04 Yankee. 04.
And I said
You said 40 Yankee.
4. Yeah, I got that. You're right.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Alright.
And Burlington, 67 Quebec, back taxi, runway 24, Burlington.
Quebec, can I follow you down there?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Come on.
Ah, very good. Save me some time. Oh, it's Santa Turkey 4923, name my back taxi, runway 24.
Reaching 1,100.
That's right. We'll start making your left turn. It's about a 150 is what is going to hold you perpendicular, and it's left crosswind, runway 24.
Left crosswind, runway 24, okay.
That's right.
Right in traffic. That's not 04 Yankee.
Left
crosswind, runway 24, right in traffic.
Perfect. Good. So once we get about a half a mile, that's when we'll make left downwind. So there's left downwind. We're almost at 1600. Let's fly the airplane first. Let's make a left turn, and let's pitch power and trim before you make your call.
Okay.
Fly the airplane first, and then make the radio call.
We'll make a turn too?
Yep. We're going to be making our turn, and pitch power trim.
Pitch power trim.
Yep, for 1600 feet.
Oops. Here we go. Alright, pitch power trim. Here we go, pitch.
I'll get off the box so I can come behind you.
Yep, down to 2,000. There you go. And now you can say Burlington traffic 04 Yankee, left downwind, runway 24.
Burlington traffic. Cessna 04 Yankee. Left turn. Downwind. Runway 24. Burlington traffic.
Good. Alright, we've got airplanes. One that's on the runway that's about to take off.
Okay, yes.
So we'll keep our eye on him. He's taking off here shortly, so we should have time. Let's go ahead, power 15. Flaps 1. And we'll start our descent downward, kind of paralleling the runway outbound here.
Right.
So the opposite of 24 is 6, so if you fly heading at 060 and your compass is still lined up, then it'll take you straight parallel out. As long as the wind isn't messing with it.
We're 45 degrees.
Okay, let's make left base. So fly the airplane first. Let's do left turn to 330.
330, okay.
That's right. It's not going to be that every single time.
I see.
It's going to change depending on the runway and depending on what the wind is doing. But
I see.
that's going to give you a guidance to figure out where about perpendicular is. So let's see, we can turn a little bit more left. We can see we're still not perfectly perpendicular here. Next notch of flaps and left base runway 24.
Burlington traffic 04 Yankee is left base 24, turning final now, Burlington.
Okay.
Alright.
Let's turn final. Alright, we're low. You can see here, so add a little bit of power and level out.
Yeah, we're very low, yeah.
Okay, add power and level out. We're just going to use 2 notches of flaps today because the winds are so high.
I see.
2 notches is better to use in high winds than 3 notches of flaps.
Alright. So here, ma'am, 2 lights.
Yeah, this is looking great. You're looking awesome. Yep, just keep us coming right down to the runway here. Don't level out, don't descend too fast, just a nice happy medium.
Right.
Yeah.
Too high.
We're a little on the low side actually, but hold what you got right now. This is looking good. Let's keep coming down to the 24. Line yourself up with that center strip of the runway and look all the way down the runway. Alright, so there we go. Let's start pulling a little bit more of that power out now. A little bit more. So we got to land. You see we're still 100 foot up. We need to go down to the runway. There you go. Okay, you see that center strip where all the tire marks are? Imagine that's the only width of the runway there. Okay, let's bring it above the runway and level out. Hold it right about there. And level out. And just start raising that nose up. Slowly, there we go, we're on the ground. And left rudder to help you on the center line there.
Right.
And nice, easy pressures on the rudder pedals. We don't want to, full deflect.
Brusque, yeah.
And let's see here. We're going to have to stop, and we're going to do our stop and go here again. Okay.
And Burlington 67 Quebec, turning southbound, will be remaining in the area.
All right, we've got one waiting for us here, so I'm going to help you here. So flaps are up, extra ridge, trim is set, and strobe and landing lights.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Traffic, Cherokee 4923 Lima, entering the active, holding short.
Burlington traffic 04 Yankee is taking off 24, remaining in the pattern, Burlington.
All right, whenever you're ready.
All right, here we go.
start making a left turn to about a 150.
Alright.
And now that we're in the turn, you could say we're turning left crosswind, runway 24, Burlington.
Burlington traffic. Cessna 04 Yankee. We're making left crosswind turn. Runway 24, Burlington traffic.
Okay, so we're about a half mile. We'll start turning left downwind now.
Filter crossing 24, Charlie, Burlington.
Alright, so fly the airplane first, keep climbing, keep the turn. We want to get parallel to the runway. Alright, so we're on downwind now. Let's pitch power and trim for 1600.
Alright, so we're good about that.
Yep.
Power, move down.
Alright, and now we can say Burlington traffic 04 Yankee is on left downwind, runway 24 Burlington.
Burlington traffic, Cessna 04 Yankee is on downwind, left downwind. Runway 24, Burlington traffic.
Cool, best one yet. We're getting better and better every time.
Got one for 23, so like. Alright, we're looking for parallel, we are. At 2,000 is good.
But hold the altitude. We want to start right about 1,000 foot above ground level.
Alright,
Okay, there's a beam to end of the runway. Let's power to 15 and flaps 1 notch, 10 degrees. Alright, and start the descent down.
yes.
There you go.
Alright. We're about 45 degrees now.
Okay, let's make left base.
Alright, left base.
Yep, so turn, let's make the turn first, and
Yes.
now as we're in the turn, we can go ahead and make the call. We're turning left base, runway 24.
Alright, Burlington traffic, Cessna 04 Yankee, turning left on base, runway 24, Burlington traffic.
Okay, next notch flaps. A little bit fast, slow down some, there we go. And now let's make our final turn here.
Alright,
Let's turn final, and then we'll say we're on final. Just
Right.
take it one step at a time.
yes. Here we go.
Okay?
Burlington traffic, Cessna 04 Yankee, making final left turn, runway 24, Burlington traffic.
Okay. Now we're just coming down. We're a little fast this time.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so let's raise the nose up. It's gonna bleed airspeed off. You see the airspeed immediately start going away.
Right.
And now let's bring that nose back down some. So that's one way that we can bleed off airspeed in this
I
airplane.
see.
Yep. Very windy today.
I see.
Yeah, very windy.
I thought it was me.
It's not you. It's extremely windy. We've got a wind from the left here. It looks like the sock is kind of coming from the left to
Right.
the right. So just use the rudder to hold you straight. You see how the nose wants to point into the wind?
Right.
Like a weather vane, right? So we're going to hold the left wing into the wind with the aileron and straighten the nose with the right rudder. So pull the power to idle. Okay? And we're just going to fly above the runway like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So hold it about right there. Okay. There we go. And ailerons into the wind.
I see.
Big gust of wind picked us back up there.
Yeah,
And-
we took off twice, yeah. Or we landed twice.
Yeah, on the brakes. Nice slow down.
I see.
And we've got a little bit of time this time. There's no other airplanes in the pattern. So do your before takeoff checklist.
For takeoff checklist is going to be the usual flap up before takeoff. Trim has to be set. Fixture all the way rich. Strobe lights on and the landing. Yeah. Cool. Brakes release.
All right, whenever you're ready, we're taking off runway 24, remaining in the pattern.
Burlington traffic, Cessna 04 Yankee, taking off from runway 24, staying in the pattern, Burlington traffic.
Cool. Runway's clear in front. We're
Yes.
ready to go.
traffic, Gulfstream 10 miles northeast, inbound for straight in runway 24 Burlington.
A little bit more right rudder. There you go. A little bit more right rudder.
Alright, 1,000.
Yep. Watch that climb out speed. We don't want to climb too slow. Do about 85 or 80 to 75. So we're right where you got it now.
Okay, yeah, like a left turn now.
That's right.
1100. That's to 15, right?
Yep. And we're on left crosswind runway 24.
Burlington traffic. Now 04 Yankee. Making left turn. Crosswind. Burlington traffic. Forgot this one way, but... Alright, for about a mile. So we can make a...
Burlington traffic, Gulfstream 7 miles straight in final 24 Burlington.
We've got a jet of final approach for 24. We're going to have to give him room. Alright, so let's turn left on downwind. And I'm going to communicate to this jet and let him know that I'm going to give him the room to land.
Okay.
And that's important that we do that with other airplanes so that we know who's got the right of way. He's a lot faster than we are. We don't want to try to land in front of him because he's going to basically have to go around because we're too slow. And let's level off at 1600.
Pitch power.
Yeah, so this is what I'm going to say to him. Burlington traffic 04 Yankee, we're on left downwind 24 and we're going to follow the Gulfstream and we'll give you plenty of room. Alright, so basically I let him know we're going to give him plenty of room. So we're just going to continue straight out.
Right.
And we're going to follow him in for landing.
Okay.
Let's hold 1,600 feet while we're straight out here. Now here's the catch. That jet's a lot bigger than we are. And he's creating what's called wake turbulence, right? We've learned a little bit about that. We want to give him plenty of time to get in and land, and we also want to fly above his flight path and land beyond where he lands. That way we don't get into his wake. Yep. So let's go back up to 1,600. So, I don't know if you got him in sight yet. He's about 11 o'clock right there.
Inbound traffic, 67 Quebec is 5 miles to the north, maneuvering at 6,500.
Alright, 1,600.
That's right. And just fly parallel to the runway so we don't get into his flight path over there. Yep. Alright, so there's that jet. You see him still?
Yes.
We're going to give him plenty of time, and we're also going to fly above his flight path. So try to
Traffic, Gulfstream on short final 24 Burlington.
kind of look and see where his flight path is there and kind of position yourself above his flight path coming in. So we're going to fly a high approach as we come down here to stay out of his wake turbulence. Alright, we're still going to give him plenty of room. That way his wake turbulence dissipates. Typically over 2 to 5 minutes it'll completely dissipate.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You can also imagine the wind is going to push those turbulences, so they're going to be drifting slightly to the right and away from the runway, thankfully. Wake turbulence is the worst if you're trying to land with a slight quartering tailwind. It'll push it over the runway that you're trying to land on. It can be really dangerous.
I see.
Okay, let's make a left turn.
Like a U-turn?
Yep, we're just turning on base. So the traffic 04 Yankee is turning left base behind the Gulfstream. So the traffic.
Yes.
Alright, let's hold the altitude for now. Remember, we're going to fly it pretty high. And let's turn on the final now. You see the runway way out there?
Right.
I want you to fly it really high, the approach.
Alright.
And you can say Burlington traffic 04 Yankee. We're on a 3-mile final, runway 24, Burlington.
Burlington traffic. There's now 04 altitude.
That's right. So you see those lights off to the left, the tappy lights? So we're going to try to keep them mostly white all the way down, but not too high. We still want to land.
Runway 24 at Bravo, Burlington.
All right, so let's add in a notch of flaps.
Already? Okay.
Yep.
Runway to traffic, Air 32727 is 6.5 miles to the southeast. We're going to enter the downwind runway 24, Burlington.
I have to push to keep it down, right?
Just a little bit. Let's pull some power back to about 15 now. So this is where we want to be. See how we're high? We want to basically hold this all the way down. Now that jet, he touched down right around those big white 1,000-foot marks. So we want to try to land beyond those marks. So your aiming point needs to be further down the runway.
Okay.
Because where he touches down, that's where the turbulence ends. So you see how we're getting red again? Let's hold level. Let's try to fly it high on purpose. There you go. So add in power to hold level.
Yes.
More power and raise the nose up just a little bit more.
So we got full lights.
That's right. That's what we want right now.
That means we're high.
Yeah, but we want to
That's where we
want to be high. We're above where he was.
Right.
That's where we want to be.
Gotcha.
This turbulence is below us,
Right.
and it's sinking and drifting to the right. So let's try to land not on the big white marks, but the marks just beyond that.
Okay.
And that's where it's going to be safe to land. So that's like the beginning of the runway for you now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right after the lights.
Yeah. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there.
A little bit after the lights, yeah.
And let's have one more notch of flaps.
That's right.
We're right there at the top of the white arc. All right, let's come back up. We don't want to get too low. There we go. All right, let's pull that power out now. Now we're landing beyond those big white marks there. So we stay out of his wake. Okay, let's level off just above the runway here. And just hold it right there for me. Okay. And let's bring it to a stop. And this time, they've actually moved the markers up so we can turn off the echo this time. So they've opened this part of the taxiway back up, so we'll turn off the runway.
Alright, good deal.
Yeah. That was a fun one.
Yeah, you didn't get scared.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, there's nothing to be afraid of if you're doing it right. Yeah.
I don't know. You're brave.
It's not a bravery thing. There's no such thing as a brave pilot. They're all dead.
That's right.
There's safe pilots. That's the difference. And when you're being 100% safe, there's no reason to be scared.
All right.
Yeah. If we fly our approach high, we're never going to get into his wake turbulence. Yeah. Cool. All right, we'll go all the way across.
Yeah, we have to pass it. That's
Air
right.
32727 is entering the 45 downwind runway 24, Burlington.
All right, and we'll turn back down to 24. We've got more time.
Okay.
We've got like one more lap in us.
One more, okay.
Yep, so let's do the after landing checklist now that we're actually doing a full stop.
So we have to have it here like...
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we did a full stop this time, so we'll pull the checklist out.
All right. So now we're looking at after landing. After landing, flaps have to be up.
Right.
The mixture has to be lean for taxi, so that's a good 4 centimeters out.
That's right.
The trim have to be set. We never touched it, so that's good. Strobe landing off, off and landing off.
Yeah. Now we're ready to taxi back down for departure. So what we were doing before, we typically will not do those. Those are called stop and goes.
Right.
They're safe. They're plenty safe, but we don't have as much runway as we'd like to take off.
Right.
The reason we were doing them today is just because they had the taxiway closed right there. But now that it's open, we'll taxi back. And that's how we'll normally do it. When you're flying these solo, I want you to be doing these full stops like this.
Gotcha.
Where you taxi off, do the checklist, go to the hold short, do the checklist, and then take off.
Right.
Yeah.
So the first first radio call like at the 1100.
Cumberland traffic, Air 3277 is base for runway 24 Falcon.
The first one is crosswind.
Crosswind, so you're saying making left turn.
You can just say left crosswind.
Left crosswind. You don't need to say a turn.
You don't have to say
Making left crosswind. Okay.
Yep,
and then the second is downwind. Making
left downwind.
left downwind.
Yep.
Okay.
Making or turning left downwind, runway 24.
Okay. And then the final making
Turning left
on
base.
Left base.
And then turning final, runway 24.
So turning on base, it should say turning left on base, right?
That's right.
It's better, okay.
Yep, for final you don't have to say left or right. You can just say arm on final, runway 24.
Okay. Left crosswind, left
Downwind,
left base, final.
final. Got it. And we'll also say one when we're taking off and when we're clear the runway.
All right. How come they look like perfect?
They were a little slow. You can see even they're having a hard time today. It's windy out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good practice though.
Good practice.
Yeah,
Good.
you're doing much better. Each lap you've got better.
I don't know. Thanks.
I know it feels discouraging, but seriously, everybody's got to learn at some point,
Right.
and you're doing really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're doing really good.
Appreciate it.
It's always a little weird at first.
But right now you're looking at the plane, and you have to make sure that it's no longer, in order to proceed, that plane has to be cleared, correct?
That's right. We want him to be 100% clear of the runway environment. So he's turning clear now, but he's technically still on the runway environment until he
Yes, to
gets
pass
across
that
the hold
line.
short. Yeah. That hold short's about right there. So he's clear now. We can do our checklist and get ready for takeoff.
I like this wind. Maybe this one. Oh, there you go. I think there was no.
Oh yeah, the vents were closed.
Yeah. It was a little hot flying today. We are running before takeoff and hold lines. Flaps needs to be up, yes. The trim have to be adjusted, yes. Mixture rich, here we go.
Okay.
And strobe lights have to be on, as well as the
Air
landing.
3277 is clear, runway 24 Brilliant.
And we are going to let the brakes go after I close my window. And make an announcement.
Yep, we're taking off runway 24, remaining in the pattern.
Burlington traffic, Cessna 04 Yankee. We're taking off, remaining in the pattern from runway 24, Burlington traffic.
Perfect. All right, we've got to make sure we're clear. Clear your left, clear right, clear center. Awesome, we're ready to go. Great job.
All right. Do I need to come to a stop here or not?
We can keep it rolling.
Okay, here we go.
We'll throw a little bit of left aileron just into the wind for the takeoff here. And as we get to 55, we'll have it right at neutral. So there we go. You see how that helps us with the crosswind there?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, very much so.
Burlington Unicom, Bonanza 357, Juliet Tango, holding short at Charlie, like the tag taxi prior to the next departure.
Alright, roger that. 3277, hold short for the Bonanza.
We will expedite.
Appreciate that. That left turn to begin with. It was daydreaming
left downwind now.
Hey, Berlin traffic, Aero 3277, departing runway 24, stand by.
Alright, now that he's stopped, we can make our transfer.
Burlington traffic, 04 Yankee, making left downwind, runway 24, Burlington traffic.
Alright, let's level it. Over time, you'll just start learning to multitask and you won't even think about it. But right now, you're just having to, I can tell it's a one at a time, and it's perfectly normal for it to feel that way.
Okay.
So don't be discouraged. You're doing awesome right now. This is your best one yet.
Like Charlie Cherokee, Whiskey is
Leave the runway.
downwind for
15 and 1 knot to flaps.
Hey, 5004 Yankee, copy?
Yeah, we'll be on the ground in just a minute, bud.
Well, no, I was about to tell you that I'm not going to be flying today, so if you want to have it longer, you can have it longer.
I'll be alright.
Last one.
Alright, so
Yeah.
we're going to start to go down now, 45 degrees. So I'll make a left on base, Burlington traffic. It's now 40 Yankee, making left on base for runway 24, Burlington traffic.
Okay. Second notch of flaps. We'll just leave them at 2 for today. And perpendicular to the runway, so we got to turn a little bit
more, yeah. Not quite on 30, there you go.
This one is perfect for me. Alright. Whenever you're ready, we can turn final.
Alright. Right over the interstate, I guess.
That's right.
Burlington traffic. Cessna 04 Yankee. Final for runway 24, Burlington traffic.
Good stuff. Alright, let's add power in and level up.
Hey, Burlington traffic, Aero 3277 is left crossing off runway 24, staying in the pattern, Burlington.
Alright, add more power and level up. Up. There you go.
The 3 red dots is too high.
3 red is low. The more red you see, the lower you are.
Low, yeah, yeah.
4 red is low.
Gotcha.
There you go. Half red and half white is perfect. Alright, focus in. Looking down the runway in that center strip. I'm going to help you go back to the left here. Alright. We can start taking that power out. Okay. We're just going to let it float right here. We got a left crosswind. Just a slight one. We're going to try to land on that left wheel first if we can.
Burlington traffic, Bonanza 257 Juliet Tango is departing behind the Cessna.
Alright, and we're going to roll down to Charlie. Cool. Alright, let's just keep it rolling.
Aero's got the Bonanza in sight. Should be no factor for you.
So I'm going to take the flight controls here. I'm going to do kind of like a high-speed taxi here just to let us off behind the...
Right.
We got one that's on the runway wanting to take off for some reason. You see how as a taxi, I've just got that aileron into the wind there, and we're climbing into a headwind. So we got a headwind from the right. We kind of climb in.
But during the landing moment, there was not much of a left aileron. I mean,
yeah, it's just like this. The wind side is, it's all over the place. So it was shifting from a crosswind to straight down the runway. So
yeah, there's a lot of a wind today.
A lot of wind today. That's right, yeah, this is a really windy day. For a light airplane, it's very windy.
Hey, Burlington traffic, Aero 3277 is base, runway 24, Burlington. Burlington 0 for Yankee, turning clear at Charlie, Burlington.
Okay. And we'll do our after landing checklist.
Alright, taking over.
Okay, you have flight controls.
I got the flight controls. Alright, so after is here, and that is after landing. The flaps have to be up, and the mixture has to be lean 4 centimeters. Alright, trim has to be, yeah, that, take off. And then strobe lights have to be off, and the landing as well. Here we go. And we're good to go, I guess.
We're ready to taxi back to Elam.
Here we go. That was four landings. I mean,
6.
6.
Yeah.
Make a left here.
Yeah, let's make a left turn here.
6 takeoff and 6 landing.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully everything caught on tape. Well,
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, it was a good lesson today, Remy. You made a lot of progress today.
I need to revisit
Yeah.
those.
Moving to traffic, Bonanza 7 Julie Tango departing to the east.
Here, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're good with time
Yeah, we're perfect.
this time. Okay.
Yeah, the next guy's not even flying the airplane now, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And clearly the early morning lights are
Early is a little bit smoother, but it was still pretty bumpy this morning, so
right.
not much we can do.
I guess you need to learn windy situation.
Oh yeah, it's all good training, so.
I'm gonna leave it there, right?
Okay. Yeah,
At
straight
the-
ahead is just fine.
Okay, at the line.
Yeah, that works for me.
Gotta make sure I don't mess up the ignition and the shut-off fuel, but I've made a mark, so I should not mess up this time.